Alright beans, I did an ultramarathon yesterday. It was 50 miles. Obviously it took quite a lot out of me and I'm a bit of a physical wreck today, and recovery is something that really needs prioritising in the next few days. This will serve as a little bit of a race recap as well, because I'll be going over stuff that's relevant, things that went on in the race that were relevant to how I need to plan out my recovery basically. One of the first things I did this morning was I did my normal mobility routine. I felt that was important to get in as soon as I felt emotionally ready to, because it's a good way of testing what feels the worst, so what I need to be the most mindful about over the next few days, and just checking exactly how tight everything is, which joints are stiff, which joints hurt, which muscles hurt, which ligaments hurt, etc, etc. Like just getting that in, doing a few different movements in different directions just means that we can make sure we know what's up with our own body. So that's what I did. I did my mobility routine. Once I got that done, I ate a lot yesterday, but I think my overall protein volume was quite low. So one thing that's going to need to happen today is I need to get a shitload of protein into my diet. So first meal of the day was this really unappealing looking protein sludge, which is basically oats, protein powder, soy milk, blueberries, and I put some peanut butter in there as well. So there's probably close to 40 grams of protein in there. And I will be having a protein bar this morning as well with my coffee, as well as trying to make sure my rest of the meals today are just high protein. That's the priority macro today. This is obviously because the body's going through a lot of repairing process right now. I damaged it a lot yesterday, and you need protein to fuel the processes involved in muscle repair, tendon repair, etc. So just trying to make sure that's on point today is going to be key. And generally, although I did eat a lot yesterday, I probably didn't eat quite enough, and it's impossible to replace all the calories that you eat during an ultramarathon. It's just not, it's very difficult for your body to take in and digest that much food. I burned, my active calorie burn yesterday was 6,800 calories, and that's my active burn, so that's not taking into account my basal metabolic rate. So I was probably closer to 8,000 calories burnt yesterday. I can't eat that much. I'm not physically capable of eating that much. So although I'm not going to be able to replace all of that today, I'm just going to have to do my best and try and eat as much as I can. My appetite's still not good. It never is after something like this. But I just have to do my best and try and get in as much overall food as possible, but making sure a lot of it is high protein. And although I was pretty good at drinking for most of the race, I did tail off a bit in the latter half. I just found it very difficult to make myself drink while I was on the move, so it was more a case of when we stopped at aid stations, I'd have a bit of a sit down, I'd try and make myself eat something that was a bit more substantial, and I'd try and make myself drink more fluid, so that when I inevitably just couldn't be bothered to get stuff out of my bag while we were moving, it wouldn't have such a disastrous effect as the race went on, basically. But even if you hydrate really, really well with these things, you're still going to be somewhat dehydrated. So it is important to get as many fluids as possible in the day after as well. So I've already had at least I've had over a litre already. What are we on? 20 to 11. So I've had over a litre. I need to do a bit better than that. So we need to get more stuff in. I've had about a litre of water, and then I had most of a Lucozade, because that's got salt in it. I will also probably have some fruit juice later that I'll put a bit of salt in. I'll mix the salt up with it, so that kind of acts as a bit of an electrolyte drink. And I'll probably try and get another 2 litres of water in today. That'll be the goal anyway. I didn't quite get all the food eaten that I took with me. I did take 6 Kendall mint cake bars, and I still have 2 of them. Not ideal. And I did take 4 helpings of these Active Root energy chews, but I only had 2 helpings. I took 3 of these flapjacks, and as you can see, there's a little bit of one of them left. And then I took 4 red bean mochis with me, and I ate 2 of those. So that was all the food I had left over, which isn't that much considering how much I took. Yeah, I took 3 flapjacks, 6 mint cakes, 4 mochi, and there were 2 onigiri that I made, rice balls that I made to eat and I ate both of those. So I did eat most of the food I took with me, but not all of it. So that's maybe something to work on for if I do something of this length in the future. But I feel like it was good to know I could eat pretty well and pretty consistently up to the 50k point. And if you can eat well on the day and drink well on the day, it just makes recovery, particularly immediately following the day after, recovery a bit easier. Outside of food and hydration, I'm going to have a hot bath today, and I'm going to go for a short walk to one of the local shops just to get some bits and pieces food-wise. That'll be it in terms of exercise. Recovery on this front is very personal. It will depend a little bit on your level of fitness, your injury history. So I have a permanent issue with my knee ligament that I'm pretty much stuck with, but I can manage it quite well. And I'm pretty clued in at this point on how to manage it. And I know that I have to keep it moving fairly regularly, otherwise it just tightens up and locks up and the recovery takes longer. So a little walk today, and then I will kind of feel it out as the week goes on. So the plan at the minute is to cycle to work tomorrow morning and cycle back. It's not very far, so it should be fine, but obviously if I get on my bike and feel that that's not going to work, then I'll just have to drive in. And the plan is also to do a little run walk, and that will be a case of jogging a bit until I feel the ligaments starting to tighten, and then slowing to a walk until it goes away, and then jogging a little bit until I feel it start to tighten, and follow that pattern for, I don't know, a kilometre or two. So it'll be easing back in very, very gradually over the next few days, but I will update you on how that goes as the week goes on. Other physical stuff, my feet actually seem okay. I've got off very lightly with my feet. I've not really got much in the way of blisters. There are blisters, but they're not serious. I've got a little bit of rubbing on the back of my heels. And yeah, skin condition on my feet is actually about as bad as it normally is. So there's nothing to worry about too much there. I'm just gonna probably give my feet a little bit of a massage today with some cream or something, just to help them feel a little bit better. My plantar fascia on both feet is sore, obviously. My left Achilles is very tight. The right is also tight, but not to the same extent. And that's about it, actually. Like, obviously my quads are sore and my hamstrings are sore, but there's not too much else. My hips got really sore in the latter part of the race, so I thought I'd be really feeling them today, and they feel fine. Maybe they'll hurt tomorrow. But yeah, in terms of like legs and feet, we're doing okay, really. Minimal chafing as well, which is great. I will go over all the kit I used, because I think I've just made some very good kit choices in terms of avoiding chafing and not having blisters all over my feet. So yeah, I'll go through all that so that, I don't know, if you feel like trying it out, then you can just copy what I did and hope for the best. So this does mean, in terms of like waiting for blisters to die down and whatnot, I've not really got anything to worry about, and I don't have any like really sore skin that I need to deal with either. So that's one element of recovery I'm not going to have to worry about, which is great. One less thing. Anyway, on with the rest of the week. Okay, so we're on Tuesday. Yesterday was pretty busy. I ended up not cycling into the gym because I woke up and my legs did just still feel like complete trash. The DOMs were really, really setting in at that point, so I drove into the gym, but by design I have gaps between my clients on Monday mornings, so I was able to have a slow walk over to a shop to get some stuff, and then in the other gap I did 20 minutes on the watt bike, just cycling really, really, really slowly, and that felt great. So by the time I got home, my legs felt way, way better, and I had a bath in the afternoon after I'd done all my other like admin stuff, which meant that I rounded off the day with my legs feeling good, well, you know, relatively good. And then I woke up this morning and I felt ready to go for a run, so I did. I ran 2 kilometers. My plan was just to run until I felt my knee ligament locking up, and then I was going to slow to a walk and just sort of rinse and repeat that for 2 kilometers. But my knee didn't lock up at all, didn't even feel it. So that's really encouraging and very positive. And it does indicate recovery is going to be quite quick. I am not going to rush it though. I'm still not going to like up my run distances quickly or anything, because I have had it in the past where I've sort of thought, oh, this feels great, and I've tried to run a bit further and then the knee is locked up and I'm kind of like set back a few days. So yeah, the next few days I'm just going to creep up the run distance and be really conservative with it, just to make sure that I finish off the week feeling good. It's important to keep remembering that some elements of recovery are pretty personal. I've only foam rolled once in the last 3 days, just because I felt like my legs needed it yesterday morning, because they did feel really sore, and I just needed a little bit of temporary relief to get me in the car so I could drive to work. But I don't feel it's something that's necessary for most people to be doing every day. When you're foam rolling, you're still causing some amount of muscle damage. So obviously it's going to slow recovery down a little bit overall if you're doing it like all the time. Some people just like it, which is fair enough. If you feel like it makes you feel good, then by all means go for it. From just a pure science standpoint, there's not a ton of science to back up foam rolling. If anything, it's more useful to do sort of before exercise as part of a warm-up routine than as part of a recovery routine. All right, my plan for the rest of the week is to run every day, not particularly far, and I'm just going to let the legs kind of dictate what's going on there. But we're feeling good. I'm feeling good. Obviously, this is still a recovery week, so I'm not going to be aiming to like hit particular mileage or do anything particular with the runs other than just do the runs. And then probably there might be another couple of watt bike sessions while I'm at the gym. And I will get a little bit of strength training in today, hopefully a little bit of strength training in later in the week. And I'm aiming to be back to normal strength training next week is the plan. So we're taking this week in such a way that will enable me to do that. Do you want to take a guess as to who did some strength training this morning and then did something that was a little bit too ambitious maybe, and slightly pulled some muscles in their leg? Anyway, I'm going to show you the kit I used for the race. All right, so we're going to go over the main articles of clothing first. I do most of my long runs in this Under Armour top. I found it in TK Maxx. Can't even remember what the like model name is or anything, but I doubt it's available on their website anymore. But I really rate Under Armour as a brand. I've had not many pieces of their kit, because I haven't needed to have many pieces of their kit. They last for ages, they're really good quality, and they're just great. It's just a comfortable top. It's kind of got like a 3/4 length sleeve, which I find really helps with chafing for really long stuff. So I get on really well with this. And I, basically try and keep an eye out for Under Armour stuff as often as I can. And then for my crop top and shorts, I used BAM products. Annoyingly, neither of these products are available on their website anymore, and I don't really understand why companies do this. These shorts are really good. They're the Enduro shorts. I think they do have Enduro leggings on the website at the minute, but not the shorts as far as I can see, which is bizarre. They've got a pocket on either side, which is handy, and they just don't chafe. They don't chafe at all. Neither does this crop top, but again, they don't seem to have this specific crop top on the website. But I'd say I've had pretty good experiences with most of their other stuff. I've had a few of their crop tops and none of them really chafe. There was like a tiny bit of chafing, but obviously I'd run 50 miles in it, so that's kind of to be expected. But nothing that I felt like I need to spend like ages trying to recover from. So that's the clothing. This bag I used is an Alp Kit Vora 6. It's about 30 quid, I think, on the Alp Kit website. I got it from a shop in Keswick, but yeah, it was about 30 quid and it's been incredibly good value so far. It's got loads of space. You can get all the stuff I need for like long fell runs and stuff, and it carried everything I needed for running 50 miles. I think if I had needed more kit, it would have been a little bit tricky to fit like all the food and all the kit in, but if you're going for a long fell run, it'll get all the kit you need in it and all the food you want. And if you're doing I guess an ultra where you're not needing as much kit, compasses and full waterproofs and all of that jazz, then this also really fits the bill. I found it pretty comfortable to wear. Carries a full litre of water pretty easily. It's got lots of like tightening and cinching options for making it as tight as it needs to be, depending on how full it is. And it's mostly just got these two really big pockets to keep stuff in. So yeah, I got really, really well with that. I've done a really long run in the Lake District with it and the 50 miler, and I have done a couple of long runs with it as well. Yeah, really, really like it so far. Enjoying it a lot. Highly rate. For the shoes, I went with the Topo Ultra Adventure Pro. Again, highly rate these. I was pairing these with some Inji Trail toe socks, and I think that combination is what we can basically give all the credit for me having basically no blisters. So the wide toe box really helps with avoiding blisters, and pairing it with toe socks just means that the skin on your feet isn't rubbing against the other skin on your feet. I know a lot of people are a little bit weird about wearing toe socks, but I'd honestly suggest you try it, because I've had multiple long runs of that combo now that have just resulted in effectively no blistering, and they're really comfortable. They've got enough cushion for long stuff. The grip is a little bit minimal for some mountain stuff, but I've honestly not really run into many problems with them. I've done quite a few long efforts in these now in various terrains, and they've served me well to the extent that I would get another pair if these wear out, but they're not really showing any signs of wearing out just yet. So these will get a lot more use before I need to retire them. I don't want this video to be too much longer, and there's not too much else to go over. So the main things really are, remember that there are elements of recovery that are personal, and there are others that are going to be pretty consistent across everyone. Making sure you're eating enough, getting that protein volume in immediately after the race, making sure you're drinking enough, sleeping enough, finding those other bits and pieces that make you feel good. I do recommend trying to get hot baths in if you've got that option, or some kind of heat treatment just to help the blood flow get back into the muscles. I did have a sports massage this week. I went to Made to Move in Sheffield and I saw Cara. She was really good, and my legs felt great afterwards. I'm glad I did that, but not everybody will get on well with having a sports massage. So that's something that's like a trial and error thing. If you think you want to try it, go for it. If it doesn't work, then you don't have to have sports massages. It's not going to be the right choice for everybody. And the same with things like foam rolling. That's pretty personal. Some people feel it makes them feel better, and some people really don't. So don't foam roll if it doesn't make you feel good. Importantly, just build that exercise volume up steadily. I have run every day apart from Monday, and I have run up to 6 kilometers. I did 6 kilometers on Sunday. My knee ligament is playing up a little bit, but it's definitely very manageable, and if I just keep easing it up and keeping things regular, progressing at a sensible rate, we'll be fine. I got back into my strength routine. On Saturday I lifted some weights. That felt really good. Yeah, great, really excited to be lifting weights again. And then I think getting back into that will also help the knee ligament massively. So do what feels right for you. Do not dive back in at the deep end. Take it steady. Look after yourself. Okay, that is everything from me. I feel like this video has gone on a little bit longer than I maybe wanted it to, but hopefully you found some useful nuggets of info in there. So take care of yourself, and I will catch you in the next one.